everybody. Just going to take a minute to make sure we are operational. This is my first time using OBS as an interface. I should probably introduce myself. Meteorologist Brittany, seen on FiOS 1 News in New Jersey, Long Island, and the Hudson Valley in New York. This is my esteemed colleague,
Meteorologist Addison Green. And I'm also on Verizon FiOS, where you can find us. We work the same shift, share the same shows. I'm also on Long Island, Hudson Valley, and New Jersey. And while portions of Long Island and the Hudson Valley have been relatively quiet the past few days, New Jersey, southern New Jersey, got a little bit of a rude awakening this morning.
Yes, it has been snowing for a good portion of the afternoon in especially Ocean and Atlantic counties. Burlington County as well.
Burlington County, and some areas have seen a coating to as much as 3 inches of snow from a little pesky coastal system that's not too big by comparison to other storms we've seen, but just large enough and sticking around long enough to give people a little winter wallop in places like Atlantic City, where I'm sure they weren't betting on this morning.
Right, and to a certain extent, we weren't betting on this upside surprise either, and we'll explain that in a little bit, but I'm going to bring up our radar here. Still snowing in southern portions of the state. This is mostly transitioned to rain in Monmouth and Ocean County, so we will start to see the system kind of move to the east and offshore in the upcoming hours here, just about around the evening commute time frame. So looking better for this evening. This is Wednesday, December 5th. Couple of other active areas I just wanted to make note of too. Here is the country overall, looking at some winter weather advisories in interior New England, so in New York along Lake Erie and Ontario, southern New Jersey, interior portions of West Virginia in the mountainous areas. And then also there's a winter storm watches up across a good portion of the Texas Panhandle through central Oklahoma because we have another system on the way. And that is going to be targeted toward the weekend time frame.
Yeah, so that system is definitely, days in advance, hence the watch being put on up out there for the southern plains. And the system is actually just starting to get going across the west coast. Air low pressure will eventually weaken as it comes ashore, move further inland. Its upper level low will help to generate another surface low, and that's going to help to get things going across the southern plains. Where, as you can see, looking right there across Norman, Oklahoma, portions in the western half of the state, west of I-35, right along I-40, going west of OKC, you're looking at maybe 4 to 6 inches of snowfall, and that extends down into the Texas Panhandle. Very flat areas right there, so any strong winds coming through could lead to some maybe near whiteout conditions, or at least low visibility in some spots.
Right, and the timing of this is Friday evening through Saturday evening, so let's pull up the GFS. I want to make sure this isn't like too huge here. Just gonna kind of alter this box just a little bit. Give me a second. Alright. There we go. Now it's just me. Sorry, still troubleshooting this OBS thing. OBS. I love it.
Still work in progress. That's why I'm previewing it here.
Yeah.
To see how it looks.
Yeah, we're doing good. We're doing good. Alright. I want to make sure that I get you in here, Addison. You're important. Yeah. Very important to me. So, here we are looking at the GFS computer model, and the time frame for this right now is, we're looking at this afternoon. So you see the low starting to shape up there across Southern California. It brings some rain to that area Thursday afternoon into the evening hours, and then it's going to slide across Mexico, kind of redevelop a little bit over Texas, and this is Saturday morning. So that is where we're going to see that snow start to take place across the panhandle of Texas through Oklahoma into the northern part of the state as well. So watching this system because it will be moving, oops, that's a sounding. It will be moving through the southeast throughout the weekend. So by Sunday morning, it moves through, the snow is kind of shielded out from Arkansas through Kentucky, a little bit of Tennessee, and into the mountainous areas of Virginia and North Carolina. I know I have tons of friends in Charlotte. I'm a UNC Charlotte alumni. Go Niners! So everybody out at UNCC and the majority of the UNC campuses could look at some snow headed down your way, especially with that cold air wrapping around and flowing down the side of the mountains there. You're going to be getting some more cold air entrained into this system. So Sunday, you're going to be on the lookout. That's when you're going to see this system starts late Saturday night to the day Sunday. Some heavy snow possible, especially in Asheville and Boone, Bristol in Virginia, and into Tennessee as well. So in the mountainous areas, definitely watching for the potential for some heavy snows, and this system doesn't move offshore and out of your hair until it looks like Monday evening. So from Saturday late afternoon into the evening hours through about Monday afternoon, you're going to be looking at some periods of changeover as well, from rain to a wintry mix and to snow. It's going to be a mess out there around, eastern Tennessee, Kentucky, southern West Virginia, southwestern Virginia, North Carolina, the interior portions near the mountains, and then maybe even a little bit into South Carolina near Greenville, Spartanburg. It looks like some of that mixing is occurring even as far south as the Greenville, Spartanburg airport, at least by this model run. That's Sunday afternoon.
Sunday afternoon. So, yeah, definitely looking at that potential right there for us dealing with a complex storm system, especially in that part of the country where you're getting that rain snow line. Definitely being very tricky. You know how it is since you used to live down there, work down there, that, not used to handling winter weather on a regular basis. So it's not going to be easy for those that are driving out and about for Sunday into Monday's time frame, which this is roughly Sunday at 1 o'clock.
Right, and then it moves offshore by about Monday, but you can still get some precip on the back end of that. For us here in the Mid-Atlantic and the Northeast, particularly our zones that we cover for FiOS 1 news here, New Jersey, Long Island, and the Hudson Valley, it looks like the GFS keeps this system further to the south of our area, so we might end up with a very near miss, but things could change, so we will be watching for any changes in the models here, but right now all signs point to a near miss. But I want to take a look right now at the where did I have it?
Do we have the forecast for, the Carolinas, if they had a snow outlook for that area?
They do.
All right, so let's go to
here's the expected snowfall through the 8th, which I'm bad with my days, Saturday. So it looks like an inch or less in some spots in the mountainous areas. So what that indicates to me would be, this is the higher end. You could get up to 3 inches in the mountains, and as you head into the Piedmont there, an inch or less, and further south into Greenville, Spartanburg area, about an inch. So that is indicative of, maybe, that changeover, like I said before, the rain to a wintry mix to snow. Maybe it accumulates, and then maybe some of it gets washed away by a changeover. Some of it could freeze too, so taking a look at the ice accumulation forecast can be helpful. Just shy of
so a couple hundred of an inch right there in places like Robbinsville and Franklin. So definitely the more mountainous areas, talking like maybe an elevation of like 1,000 to 2,000 feet. You're dealing with that little icy mixture to a little wintry mix, a little bit of that cold air damming, really taking influence right there in terms of what we're seeing for those precip types. Dumping all that moisture right into those areas in the foothills and across the Appalachian Mountains. They're getting that wintry mix to come on down and maybe stick in a few spots. I mean, for the time being, it doesn't look huge right now because the path of the storm system can shift. You shift about a good 50 to 100 miles or so, and you're talking about dealing with several inches of heavy wet snow, or you're talking about dealing with maybe a little winter mix of just rain, or nothing. So definitely the path is key, but it's still several days out. We were talking about the storm system back on Monday's time frame for our area in the New York City tri-state area. So it definitely is on track to still come towards this way, but it's a question if it goes out to sea or steers a little bit closer to home.
Right, and for those of you who live in the Carolinas, Virginia, into eastern portions of Tennessee and Kentucky, that's kind of looking like the target area right now with the storm's current path. So, Addison, what kind of impacts and preparation should be prepared for? How should we prepare for these impacts at this point?
For our area?
Nope. If the people who live in the southern Appalachian Mountain or Appalachia.
I always get confused which way it goes.
It depends.
Appalachian.
Since we're talking about the Carolinas, Virginia, we'll call it Appalachia, southern Appalachia, because that's more native.
More appropriate? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But if we're talking about up here, it's Appalachian.
Appalachian.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still going to get that confused back and forth. For those areas...
comment and let us know.
Yes,
is
definitely.
it Appalachia or Appalachia? We'll just take the popular vote on that one.
Yeah, because it could go either way, and I'm still going to go back and forth. For those areas, I mean, I would just, do what you would normally do for being prepared for a winter storm. Like we always say, prepare for the worst, hope for the best. I mean, this is... No one's talking like apocalyptic stuff, but, you shouldn't just kind of like not think about this at all and just, push it aside. Still come Sunday into Monday's time frame. So, just make sure you have the essentials. Definitely make sure you have your car gassed up and ready to go. Mm-hmm. Get all your errands out of the way. Perhaps Friday night into Saturday's time frame, so that way you don't have to worry about it going out at all come Sunday into Monday. And good news is that we're still early on in the season, so anything that does come down and adhere to the surface and piling up won't last too long, because we can still get some milder air coming on in as we push through the middle portion of December.
Right. So, silver lining, the moral of the story. You want to make sure that you are thinking about this storm, have a plan in place, get your errands done early, have your supplies, gas up your car. Mm-hmm. We know it's still Wednesday, you've got a couple more days to go, but things to think about as you're heading into the weekend, because it's definitely not looking to be the best weekend in southern Appalachia.
So Appalachia, that's
how
good.
About how about the mid to northern Appalachia?
Mm-hmm.
Heading in toward Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey.
I was going to say,
this weekend.
Do we have the maps available for that one? We can show them what we're talking about over here.
All right, so we can go region specific. That's probably better. Here we go.
Alright, and
so this is not full screen. Sorry, my apologies here.
Alright, so taking a look right here at the GFS, this is going to go ahead in towards Saturday night's time frame right there. So high pressure is firmly in place, no doubt about it. Friday into Saturday, bone dry. But then as you go in towards Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening's time frame, you do see that system pushing on up from the south. It gets close to us, but doesn't quite get there. And the Euro earlier on today, I believe the 12Z run, did show that it got towards our doorstep, right on our doorstep, in fact, for coastal New Jersey, coastal Long Island. But as of most recently, the 18Z Euro, if I'm not mistaken, showed it further away. So it's still flip-flopping back and forth. We'll check back again at the 0Z reading coming on in. That's for 7 o'clock, so it should be in roughly maybe 6:30, give or take. So later on this evening, pretty much, we'll be able to see how it has, if it changed some more, or if it flipped back to what it showed earlier on today. But that's what we always talk about with these models, is that they're taking all the variables of the atmosphere, all the calculations, there's too many there to count, and putting it all together, giving you that picture right there, and then things can change in the atmosphere on the other side of the planet, influencing things over here, and it's starting to change that formula as well. So that's why we always look at the models, but we don't lock in on the models exactly. We always take, kind of like a hodgepodge view of them, and then get our own educational thoughts into it before we, put our final forecast out there. It's never just one model that you want to follow.
Yeah, that would be not wise.
No.
Just stick to one.
Stick to one model and stick it to one time. Yeah, let's watch the GFS model from back on Sunday's time frame. Oh, you're fine.
No. Let's not do that.
That's not
so, looking like most of the Northeast in the clear at this point, but wait until we're about 2 days out and it will definitely be more of a concrete forecast.
Mm-hmm.
And we will be back on to update you as much as we can. I think that's that's all we've got.
Yeah. I mean, otherwise, it's relatively quiet out there, which is a good thing. We'll take these quiet days because we know more times than not when the storms are coming our way, we're not really going to be pressed for free time.
No.
I mean, a lot of people are going to be dealing with it. Hopefully, we won't deal with any storms like we had 2 weeks ago, the week before Thanksgiving. That was pretty much a nightmare for many, many people getting home. No, I'm not making fun of that.
You waited it out.
Yeah,
I was smart.
I waited it out. You had to go home, but
I did.
you didn't get home till I got home, and I didn't get home till 11.
We should have just got dinner.
It took dinner 2 hours to come in to the station because it was hard to get around. So trust me, we're sitting there like, you gonna eat? No.
Just 1 hour.
Yeah, no, it's next time, food for thought, but definitely be prepared for any storm that comes your way as we go through the next several days. But this is a nice, beautiful stretch we got right here. From Monday's time frame all the way over to, if this storm completely misses us, we'll enjoy a dry stretch of maybe 10 days, and we haven't had that in a long time.
Since the summer, the back half of the summer, we haven't seen a dry stretch here in the Northeast. So, besides that, we're dealing with the cold temperatures sticking with us throughout the week. Those highs may not get out of the 30s for some of us here in New York and New Jersey. So make sure you're bracing for the cold and hopefully not for the snow. We will keep you updated, and I think it's almost time for our colleague Joe Chaffee to come in here
and kick us out. So before we leave, I just want to answer Scott's question, Scott Briller's question. So Atlantic City has winter storm warnings up. I believe winter weather advisory, winter storm warnings around that area.
Right.
And also asking us, with this storm missing us this weekend, potentially missing us this weekend, do you guys see anything in the long range for a chance of a white Christmas here? A little bit soon to tell. We're looking at the model all the way out, the American model, the GFS model, till Friday evening, December 21st, Friday's evening time frame. And we'll put it right up there for you. So maybe give us by Monday's time frame, we could have a glimpse at what at least a few of the models are showing. But this time frame right there.
So yeah, that is Friday, December 21st. So the weekend of, it looks like there may be a little coastal system this far south. But when you're dealing with the models this far out, it's really not reliable at this point. So I know we just saw that little low pressure offshore. Nobody panic because it will likely change before then. I'd say within a window of 3 to 5 days before the event is always a good indicator of what could happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, no promises. Addison, are you hoping for a white Christmas?
I always enjoy them. I always look to see if we can get one. So it's just such a nice, wonderful experience for everyone to enjoy. Light stuff. We're not talking blizzard. No. But just light stuff that you wake up Christmas morning, you find snow on the ground. I always liked that as a kid. I had that a few times as a kid. So I do enjoy when it does come through. How about yourself?
I'm hoping for a white Christmas. I love Hallmark movies and everything Christmas, the cliches. Like, sign me up for a white Christmas.
All right, so two people right here wishing for a white Christmas. Hopefully we get it, and then after New Year's we can just say, let's fast forward to spring, because I think nobody really wants to go through January and February. It's like,
I know, because then after the first couple of snows, it gets gray and dreary, and you get tired of it. Mm-hmm. At least.
You just yearn for going someplace warm, so that's definitely something to look at. Maybe ask somebody for a Christmas gift of a flight out of town.
A cruise.
A cruise, even
gift
better.
My mom a cruise.
There you go.
I don't think she would go.
You never know. You never know. Someplace warm and inviting. Yeah, if you send them to Alaska this time of the year, they're not going to be your friends or family.
She's stuck with me. My mother, she's stuck with me for life.
That's parents.
Okay, on that note, think warm thoughts, y'all. We will check back in with you very soon. And as always, thanks for watching.
All right, thank you guys. Take care.